Excuse me, sir? Sir? Oh. Oh. Yeah. Hey. Hello. Care if I join you? Oh, no. Go right ahead. Thanks. So, what's wrong? What do you mean? We're asleep. Oh. Sorry, I was just having a flashback. A flashback? Yeah. Say, were you alive in the 70s? Yeah. I was born in 65. Do you remember a show that used to be on TV? Like in 1971? A show? Like, what was it? I think it was called Candle-Cove. Yeah. Come to think of it, now I do remember it. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. That brings back so many memories. Oh my god. I'm so glad you brought that up. That show holds so many memories of my childhood. Yeah. I forget. Wasn't it about, like, pirates or something? Yes. Yes. So I'm not crazy. I remember Pirate Percy. I was always, kind of scared of him. Really? Why? I don't know. He just looked like he was built from parts of, like, other dolls. Like, real low budget. Wasn't his head like an old porcelain baby doll or something like that? Looked like an antique that didn't belong on his body. I don't remember what station it was, do you? It's hard to say. I don't know. It's great to meet you, though. What's your name? Oh, my name's Sky. I'm Jaren. I'm so glad. I think it only ran for a couple months. It was 72, not 71. I wasn't that old when I watched it a few times with my brother. It was Channel 58, that's what it was. Yes! Channel 58. Oh my god, I remember it. My mom would always let me switch to it after the news. Let me see what I remember. I think it took place in Candle-Cove. It was about a little girl who imagined herself to be friends with pirates, right? Exactly, correct. The pirate ship was called the Laughingstock. And Pirate Percy wasn't a really good pirate because he got scared too easily. You remember that? Yeah. I remember that like it was just yesterday. Childhood goes by. Your childhood goes by in a flash. I say yes to that. Mommy, this show is so cool. That's great, honey. Mom, you have to come watch this. Do you remember the girl? Do you remember the girl's name? Wasn't it like Janice or maybe Jane or something like that? I think it was Janice. Yeah. Thank you, Jaren, for this. Jaren, I had to thank you very much. No problem. Memories flood back when you mentioned the Laughingstock, and when you mentioned the Laughingstock on Channel 58. I remember the bow of the ship was like a wooden smiling face. Remember the little jaw was submerged and it looked like it was swallowing the sea? Yeah. I miss my childhood. I think everyone our age does. I had nothing to worry about back then. I hated that awful Edwin voice, that the Laughingstock had. The little voice and the laugh it had. I especially remember how jarring it was when they switched from a wooden plastic model to a foam puppet of some sort of the version of the head that talked. Yeah, I remember that too. Hey, do you remember that part where it was like, you have to go inside? Ugh, I gotta chill. You gotta chill? Yeah. As soon as you said that, I got a chill down my spine. I remember that. That's what the ship always told Percy when he was about to enter a spooky place, like a cave or a dark room, where treasure was. The camera would always push into the laughingstock's face with each pause. You have to go inside. With his two eyes askew and that flopping foam jaw and that fishing line that opened and closed it. Ugh, it looks so cheap and awful. Now that I think about it, it was kind of a creepy show. It freaked me out. Especially a couple episodes. There were a couple episodes that gave me nightmares. Do you remember the villain? The villain? I honestly thought Pirate Percy was the villain. Oh, no. The villain had like a face that had a handlebar mustache above his really tall, narrow teeth. I was about 5 when the show was on. It was nightmare fuel for me in some parts. But no, Percy wasn't the villain. The villain with the puppet had a mustache. That wasn't the villain. That was the villain's sidekick. Horace Horrible. Oh yeah, I remember Horace. Scared the shit out of me. Me too. But remember he had like a monocle and it was at the top of his mustache. I used to think he only had like one eye or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, the villain was another marionette. It wasn't Horace Horrible. It was, I keep forgetting his name. What is it? It's right on the tip of my tongue. It was a skeleton, wasn't it? The Skin Taker. Yes, the Skin Taker. That's what it was. I can't believe what... Yeah. Skin Taker. I honestly can't believe what they let us watch back then. Yeah, the 70s was a darker time. For sure. Mommy, seriously, you have to come watch. It's so... peaceful. It's just so... eerie. You keep watching, sweetie. Mommy has work to do. Mom, please come watch. Sit down and watch with me. It's so... I don't know how to describe it. Jesus. The Skin Taker. What kind of a kid's show were we fucking watching? I seriously couldn't look at the screen without... when the Skin Taker showed up. He would just... Do you remember how creepy that fucker was? Yeah. That fucker gave me nightmares for days. Yeah, he honestly just like descended out of nowhere with strings. Just a dirty old fucking skeleton wearing a brown top hat and a cape. And his glasses. He didn't have glasses. His eyes. That was the worst part about the fucker. The eyes? Yeah. The eyes that were too big for his goddamn skull. Jesus. Wasn't the top hat and the cloak like all sewn up crazily? Yeah. I remember in one episode they explained it was children's skin. What the fuck? Yeah. I think it was like a lost episode or something. It's a one that they couldn't really show on TV and they had to... I don't know where I saw it, but it was made out of children's skin. I remember his mouth didn't open and close. His jaw just slid back and forth. I remember the little girl saying something like, "Why does your mouth move like that?" And the Skin Taker looked at the camera. You remember that episode? The skin taker just looked into everyone's soul. It looked like he was about to suck everyone out. He just looked at the camera with his giant glass eyes and said, "To grind your skin," or something like that. My skin is starting to crawl just thinking about him. I'm so relieved that you remember this show. It was terrible. I had an awful memory, a bad dream. What was it about? I mean, I had several nightmares about this, but this was the worst. What? I used to have an awful bad dream. It still sticks with me to this day. That flashback I was just thinking about when you come in and met me. Yeah? You remember how you just walked out of that store over there? And you came over here and I was having a flashback? Yeah? I was thinking about that dream I had back in '72. When I was just a 6-year-old. What was it? You'd think I'd forget about it considering I was only 6 years old, but that shit will never leave my goddamn mind. I'll never forget that. The opening jingle of the show had ended. The show faded in from black and all the characters were there, but the camera was just cutting to each of their faces. You know? And they were screaming. Terrifyingly, they were just screaming. All the puppets and marionettes were flailing spastically and just screaming and screaming and screaming their fucking heads off. The worst part... Are you crying? I can't handle it, man. The little girl was there and she was just moaning and crying. Like she'd been through hours of this. I woke up so many times from that nightmare. It reoccurred. To this day, I still have that goddamn nightmare. I used to wet the fucking bed because of it. Sky? What? That wasn't a dream. What? That wasn't a dream. Mommy, you gotta come watch. It's so peaceful. You gotta come watch Candle-Cove with me, Mom. Stop the cleaning. Come watch with me. That wasn't a dream. You gotta be shitting me. That was a dream. It was in my mind. I would go to bed and just think about it. That was an episode, Sky. That's not possible. There was no plot. There was no nothing. I mean, literally just standing in place, crying and screaming the whole entire show for a duration of like 30 minutes. Maybe I'm manufacturing the memory because you said that, but I swear to God, I remember seeing that what you just described. They were all just screaming. The little girl, Janice, I remember seeing her shake. And the skin taker screaming through his gnashing teeth, his jaw careening so wildly that I thought it would come off its wire hinges. And I turned it off. That was the last time I watched. I ran to tell my brother and we didn't have the courage to ever turn it back on. This conversation is fucking scaring me. You remember it, and I remember everything you just described as well. Hey man, I have to go. Okay. I'll see you around. You know what the weird part was, though? What? Our parents never would sit down and watch it with us. Yeah. Or at least mine didn't. No, mine didn't either. I wonder why. I don't know about your parents, Sky, but my mom would just sit down on the couch and watch and then leave after like 5 minutes. Holy shit, same here. My dad and sister would watch it with me. But my sister was in college, and she just said, "Why are you watching this? It's so dumb, it's so stupid. Watch something else." And then I said no, and they just left. Weird. I always asked my mom to come watch with me too. She said, "I don't want to watch that stupid show. I'm cleaning right now, I can't. There's nothing even there." What? My mom said there's nothing there. I don't want to watch. Weird. Alright, man. I'm heading out. See you around? See you around. Mommy, please come watch with me. I'm not watching that stupid goddamn show. You're watching nothing. You're literally watching nothing. What do you mean, Mommy? It's Candle-Cove. You gotta come sit and watch with me. We can't miss an episode. But hey, man, it was nice talking to you. Yeah, you too. So what else are you gonna do today? I promised my mom I'd come see her in the nursing home. Oh, that's nice. I'll see you around, Sky. See you. Come in. Hey, Mom. Hey, sweetie. How you doing? I'm doing good. It's a nice room. Yeah. How are you doing, Sky? I'm doing just fine, Mom. Mom, I have a question to ask you. Sure, honey, what is it? You remember in the early 70s when I was little? Like 8 or 9? Yeah. Those were my favorite years with you. Do you remember a show called Candle-Cove? I do. You do? Really? Yeah. Tell me more, please. I'm surprised you remember that. Wait, why? Oh, you were a weird kid back then, Sky. A weird kid? I just ran into someone today who watched the same show. What? Honey, there was no show. What do you mean? I used to think it was so strange that you would say, "I'm gonna go watch Candle-Cove now, Mom." And then you would go downstairs. Or not downstairs, but you'd go in the living room and just turn the TV to static. Just watch dead air for 30 minutes. What? Yeah? You had a big imagination with your little pirate show. What are you trying to say, Mom? There was no Candle-Cove. What? Yeah. You just turned the TV to a channel that no one knew about. 58, I think it was. 58 had nothing on it. It was just a channel with nothing on it, just static. You'd always sit and watch it. You'd always tell me stories about how crazy stuff happened in the show, like screaming, and you would always tell me you had nightmares because of it. And you would always tell me about your imaginary friend. My imaginary friend? Yeah, Jaren, I think his name was. There a problem, sweetie? Jared. Yeah. I would always catch you talking to yourself. You'd be like, oh, what'd you think of the new episode? And then you'd say back to yourself, I liked it. What about you? And I would say, honey, who are you talking to? You would always say your imaginary friend. What's his name, sweetie? Jared. You'd always say that. No. Is there a problem, sweetie? That's nothing, Mom. It's just... Am I crazy? No, sweetie. Everyone has an imaginary friend. I don't get why you would sit in front of a TV, though. I guess every kid has their own imagination. Yeah, looks that way. I'll be going now, Mom. You take care of her, Mom, okay? Sky? You too. Bye, Mom. I gotta get some rest. I think I'm going crazy. I never had an imaginary friend, did I? Oh well. Honey, I'm home. Hi, Mommy. Wanna come watch Candle-Cove with me? Sky? Yes, Mommy? Watch what with you? Candle-Cove. Honey, you're watching static. What are you talking about? You don't see the pirate ship? You don't see the little girl? Honey, I'll be back later, okay? Bye, Mommy. What are you gonna do today, honey? I'm gonna sit and watch Candle-Cove. It's such a great show. There's nothing there, honey. Change the channel. They say adults were never able to see what the children could see. They say your childhood memories go by in a flash. I'd have to agree with the same thing. The thing is, that's like saying adults have no imagination. So what the adults see, the children don't. Maybe it was just an figuration of my mind. The thing being, how did someone else know about Candle-Cove? That guy, Jaren, how did he know about Candle-Cove? I guess you could say we all have our own little imagination now, don't we? I guess Jaren just was part of mine. Just a figment of my mind. We all go a little mad sometimes, don't we? Or is it just our imagination?